It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I'm super excited today to be with Simon Buckley. Simon, I haven't seen you in 2.5 years, is it?
No, it's more than that. It's 4 years.
4 years?
Like Lazarus raised from the dead. But here I am.
Here you are.
Getting old by the day.
Yeah. It's lovely to see you. You're looking really well.
Thank you.
You've got a great new venture. Now, I've tasted, I was really impressed with your Liberty Lager the last time I was here. You've now gone into something slightly different, and that is cider, but not just cider, non-alcoholic cider.
Well, we went into cider in 2017, the idea being that it's no good being a single show pony. You've got to have more than just a high range of high quality cask beers. So we decided that we would blend our own cider. We don't own the orchards, and we don't make the initial juice, but we buy the juice from a series of different people and blend it into then what is a first class, in my mind, medium dry session cider.
Yeah.
And working with our friend Nick Pettit who's our designer, we designed the brand and we called it Red Hog. And when you taste it, you'll recognise it as being a commercial cider. It's not a farmhouse cider. It's not designed to be, the thing that dissolved 6 rats on its way to the table. This is a commercial cider designed to have a crisp, fresh apple taste. And you might say, well, that's what you'd expect from cider, to have an apple taste.
Yeah.
But not every cider does taste of apples.
Okay.
And what I would say to you is that our aim is very much to give you a flavour that is satisfying, it's refreshing, it's a lovely summer's drink, but most importantly of all, it's Welsh. We blended it with Welsh cider apples as well, and at the end of it, it's designed to be enjoyable. And
is that the Red Hog? Just instead of like a Red Dragon, have you gone down the theme of Red Hog?
Well, a hog historically is the top's off that one.
This, is it?
Yes, it is. But it's at the end of the day, a red hog. The idea was very simple, really, to make sure that we had something that was interesting and different, and a high quality brand identity as well.
Yeah.
We're not in the process of just creating another cider, another supermarket cider that tastes like that. So, taste it and tell me what you think.
I'm going to admit to the channel, I think a lot of you know, I'm not really a cider man. This is interesting. I want you to lead me through this process of trying cider. I had a bad experience as a youngster with cider, and I've not really been able to go near it since. But let's smells good. Good.
Well, it's 100%. There's no concentrates in it. There's no nasties. It's all pure apple juice.
Yeah.
All blended. It starts off at 12% ABV.
Right. Okay.
And it's then blended down to come out at 4.8.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. I like it. I suffer from gout, so I have to be careful. But having said that, what I would encourage you to do is drink it like you would a beer. Taste it on the front of your tongue. Get the flavour on the front of your tongue.
Okay.
There's no bitterness, obviously, because it's not that.
Right.
You might get a hint of acidity at the back of the tongue.
Okay. Yeah.
But all in all, it's a quaffing cider that should be drunk. And what I would say to you as well is that, of course, one of the big things that ran in tandem with craft ale was the beginning of fruit flavoured ciders.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well,
That's what's
that's that one.
4.8% ABV.
Yeah.
Now, I've not drunk a cider since I was 16 years old, and
Well,
that
hopefully
is
you're not going
delicious.
to be sick, Simon. But there's but what I would say to you is it's a delicious drink. It's gaining foothold all over South Wales. People are fed up with the likes of Strongbow. This has got real flavour, real taste, and it's good.
There's a stark difference to that. Now, as I said, I don't know anything about cider. If I was to put my nose to a bottle of Strongbow or a glass of Strongbow, I instantly, now, there's something remarkably different in that cider that's really enjoyable. What am I not getting?
Well, what you are getting is
yeah.
fruit. You're
Right.
getting a lot of fruit in there. It's made with a lot of fruit. What you're not getting compared to brands like Stouffer Press and is you're not getting an oaky flavour, which is, you know, so what we've done is we've had the fruit, it's matured, and then we blended it. And as we blended it, we've created this great cider.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. I'm not sitting in front of you. If I don't like something, I generally, that's one of those drinks. You put it down. I mean, if I was out and it was a hot summer's day out there, I think we'd be through it by now. It's just
highly likely, Simon, and on to the second. But one of the things is, cider is a great product. For many years, it was heavily discounted to pubs.
Yes.
So you saw the quality of the cider deteriorate. But in the great days of Bulmers, Strongbow was a great brand, but it isn't there anymore. It's overdone. Whereas Red Hog is just a perfectly natural flavour.
I can't stop drinking it.
Well, keep going, because I'm going to tell you the story now about Red Hog Berry. So we decided that a lot of ladies like to have a flavoured cider, and if you go for the Copperbergs and you go for all those other foreign ciders, they are very sweet. So what we decided to do was we would give the flavour but without the sweetness. People are switching to this now on a daily basis, and the reason is, as you will see in a moment, is because it's full of flavour. It's based on the Red Hog base cider, and then we add to it the summer fruits.
Right. Okay.
And
so it's not like kind of cloying, overly sweet.
We're going to give you a taste of it.
Right. Let's have a taste of it now. Nice colour. So, when you say fruit, is it kind of raspberry or?
Well, just try it and see. You tell me.
Yeah. So, good head retention on the cider. Different to. Is it the same thing as beer that creates the head retention on a cider?
It's CO2 and it's gas.
Right. Okay.
But then so is that as a cane. Well,
it's jammy, isn't it?
You taste that.
Yeah, it's like my grandma's jam or something.
Well, it won't be as sweet as your grandma's jam, for sure.
That's beautiful. That was really, really good. And I smelled some of the ciders that my daughter drinks. She's turned 17, 18, and she drinks these these berry fruits and mixed fruit ciders, Copperberg and stuff. And that's really good.
When we blended that, we set out my brief to the guys who were working with us, giving us the assistance in getting the profile right.
Yeah.
Was it's got to be full of flavour.
Yeah.
Not sweet, and it's got to come off our base brand.
Fantastic.
And so that's what we've done. And what we've done is we've created in Red Hog a young person's brand. People who want to try it. And drink it and enjoy it, and they do. They love it over ice. The colder the better.
Yeah.
And you might say to me, well, Simon, you've been a brewer all your life, and what's all this bloody sad? It's because there is a demand in the marketplace for it.
I've seen the growth. I've seen that it's definitely a growing market. Where do you see this in, say, 2 or 3 years' time?
Well, let's just step aside slightly for a moment, and let's go to the next thing, which is Red Hog Zero.
The zero. Okay.
Now, if you'd said to me 42 years ago when I started my brewing career that one day I would be taking alcohol out of products rather than putting it in, I would be saying to you, you're mad. Not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance.
Okay.
So Red Hog Zero starts off life as a 12% cider.
Really?
Yeah. And then what we do is we blend it down, but then we run it through a process called reverse osmosis.
Okay.
And what the reverse osmosis does is it takes the alcohol out.
And is that in normal man terms? Is that like filtering it out, or how's that?
In a crude sense, yes, but it's quite an art to do.
Okay.
And getting it right, or more importantly, getting the flavours right at the end of it, is very much what it's all about.
Right.
Because it's easy enough to strip stuff out,
Right.
but at the end of it, you've got to be able to put it back in. Now, what I want you to do is finish that berry,
Right. Okay.
and then that's the kind of
Beautiful.
right. Now, what I
Beautiful.
want to do now is get rid of that in there. Now,
So this is 0%.
this is 0% alcohol. The only cider in Wales that
Right.
is 0 alcohol. None of the other cider makers have got the expertise to get it down to that.
Right.
Now,
Okay. Look, it's a lovely. It's crisp. It's golden. Looking really good. Nicely carbonated. I will admit, and maybe we'll get the flavours first, and then you can talk me through this market, because I don't understand 0%. When I go to a pub, I go to a pub to drink alcohol. Maybe it's because I'm mid-40s now, and maybe there's a younger generation coming behind, but we'll get into that in a moment. That's yeah, I mean, nicely carbonated, as a real full flavour. Yeah, and now
try that against that.
Yeah, let's do it again. It's exactly the same.
Can you tell the difference?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. No.
And that is the art of a good 0 alcohol drink.
Right.
Is you can't tell the difference.
It's difficult to do. I've tasted a few lagers and I still can't. You can still taste the zero alcohol. It's difficult with lager.
No, it's not. As you will see when you see Liberty Low, which is coming out soon.
Right.
I mean, it's once you get the basic RO reverse osmosis process right.
Yeah.
Than doing it with other products. What you've always got to remember is that when you put the product through the process, it strips out certain things. And when it strips out certain things, you've got to be aware of that so you can add them back.
Right. Okay.
So with lager, it's a similar game. You've got to think: do I need to add some malt extract back to beef it up to give it back the flavour it's lost? Do I need to add some hops and all the rest of it? But beyond that, I'm not going to spell out my trade secrets.
Yeah, no, of course.
But what I would say to you is that the demand for 0 alcohol cider product is huge.
Why is that? What have you been able to put your finger on with this?
The market research clearly shows that the modern young generation, 18 to 35-year-olds, like going to the pub. They like having the opportunity to socialise.
Yeah.
But first of all, they don't want to be paying for craft beer £7 a pint.
Right. Okay.
And secondly, and equally importantly, is they're thinking about their health. In other words, that they're fit and healthy, they're cutting down the amount of alcohol in their diet.
Yeah.
And they don't want to wake up with a thumping headache.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because it's never really been on my radar, and I've been very vocal about this on the channel. I've tried to do a bit of dry January, and I do a bit and fail, and I get sent a lot of 0% stuff around dry January, the Guinness. I could definitely taste the difference between the two Guinnesses, but I wouldn't. I suppose you wouldn't either come to a pub and not drink alcohol, is it?
Well, I do actually. Since I've been involved in the business of creating 0 alcohol cider,
right.
I now try. And if I'm going to a pub midweek, I will drink 0 alcohol cider.
Right. Okay.
And sad to say, until this gets big distribution, which it's beginning to now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to drink one of the other ones, and there is only one other one.
Right. Okay.
Which is Thatcher's.
Oh, okay. They do it.
Thatcher's is good. They're master cider makers. They're really good at what they do, but they're not Welsh. And it's not made in Wales.
And this is the thing, this is a Welsh cider. I holiday a lot down Tenby Way, Gower, West Wales, absolutely beautiful place. Is this the market for this? Beautiful Welsh beer gardens, great food, great cider.
It certainly is. But the other thing that goes in tandem with this, it's going into Bid Food, one of the major food distribution companies in the UK, and it's going throughout the UK with them because they've tasted it and they can see the quality of it.
Yeah.
And the only one disadvantage with 0 alcohol cider is at the end of the day that it's quite expensive to make. So whereas you'd expect there to be a price differential because of no beer duty or no cider duty and all the rest of it, the process maintains that element of it. But all the health side of it is very important. And if you look at me, I'm a picture of not very best of health, but you know, I would say this at the end of the day. I found a drink that I can drink in the pub early part of the week, and then I don't have to worry what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
Yep. Now this journey, this journey you're on, you make some fantastic. I'll showcase the craft beers in a moment because one of my favourite of yours is Warrior.
Well,
another one is Crew.
We've been doing some photography here today. I've kept 2 of the ones we've used for you to have.
Okay.
And we'll try them together. And I want you to try another one of our seasonal ones, which called Hop Zest, which is a totally different style of beer.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, for us, cider is a big opportunity. It's going to get bigger.
Yes.
No doubt about it. It's very popular for people who want to drink at home.
Yeah.
They want a high quality cider, a Welsh cider that is absolutely consistent.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it hasn't got 6 frogs' legs in it, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, there are others out there.
Yeah.
But you know, for us, the most important thing here is what we've hung our hat out on for years and years: high quality, consistency, value for money pricing.
And I really enjoy it. I didn't think I'd
But
be
drink that one
enjoying this.
alongside it.
I will. Yeah. I'm drinking these and I'm really enjoying them. I do have a question. You've made great ales, absolutely fantastic ales. Did you ever? You never really pivoted into craft beer, did you? You've now gone from great ales to cider.
Wasn't that a great thing? Because where's craft beer gone?
Well, and that was my question. Well, craft beer, it's in the doldrums. It really is. It really is in the doldrums.
Why is it in the doldrums?
I think price. I think your £6-7 cans of beer are just not feasible in this current market. I think people haven't got the money to buy it, and I think there's so much of the hazy IPA out there these days that I think it's almost become the Hooper's Hooch, where it was everywhere for a moment and then it disappeared again. And I think the danger of craft beer is it's becoming a Bacardi Breezer or a Hooper's Hooch, where you'll find it in a discount shop now, but
for 46 years, I've been putting alcohol into beer.
Yeah.
What I identified 2.5 years ago was that the craft beer market was overpriced. Quality, more often than not, was indifferent, and that people hid behind, oh, it's meant to be cloudy, when it probably shouldn't have started life being cloudy. A mixture of flavours, where people probably are not as aware of what the flavours should be, but more importantly than all that, the consumer says, I want a glass of beer in the pub. I'm prepared to pay up to £5 for it. But hang on a moment, the average craft beer is more like £6-7 and more. And the other thing, and if you take the argument I was just giving you on zero alcohol cider, the reality at the end of the day is that the new zero beers, when people produce really high quality ones, they will be the step over brand for craft brewers. So our Cold Sober brand, which comes out in October, will have a series of high quality craft style beers, well made, but with zero alcohol.
With these zero alcohol.
And so they will be typically anywhere between £3 and £3.50, £4 perhaps, as a bottle. And then ultimately when they go on to draft, they will be at a different price again.
You found something in the market, haven't you? You found a space in the market which you believe is going to be big.
But we, you know, I'm not exactly involved in everyday Evan Evans, but I've been driving these projects for 2 years, and when I first met up with the Aberystwyth University team who were going to work with us on the project, There were more doctors on that call than there were in Glangwili. There were some really high quality, highly qualified scientists. And the first question they asked me was, what molecule size are we dealing with here, Simon?
Right.
That was as though I was some nuclear, scientist. Hadn't got a bloody clue.
Yeah.
But now, 2 years further on, what I can tell you is, this is what we have to do to make really high quality beer.
Okay.
And when they come out, and many of the ones that are in the marketplace are a combination of two things. They're either a combination of stunted fermentations, and there's one brewed in Swansea, which is brewed with a stunted fermentation. It's an acquired taste. The others are using partial vacuum distillation. That, at the end of the day, gives you a slight burnt taste because you're boiling the beer to get the alcohol to flash off and all the rest of it. But the reverse osmosis process is a cold process. So what it does is it actually allows you to, and you can change the membrane filters to take out different things.
Okay.
But what I would tell you is that it produces wonderfully balanced beer.
It's great. What we have here is absolutely fantastic. This is the Red Hog range, and I think it's going to go down really well. Is it going to be available nationwide throughout the UK?
Yes, it is, but we have to step up production to get there. But what I would say to you is, look, Simon, the next evolution is for brewers like Evan Evans to consolidate their core brand, to make sure that they're producing world-class cask beer, and there's a good few changes coming. I'm helping them change the front end of it. Then there's a range of keg beers, because how many of the rural pubs that you go to when you're out and about camping, wherever you go camping, really are just not in a position to look after cask beer?
No, you're right.
And so therefore what they need is a high quality range of keg beers. And so we're putting our kuru into a keg. It's just finishing trials at the moment, and then it'll be out there in the pubs. Buckley's Original,
brilliant,
which celebrates 260 years of brewing.
Are these going to be, sorry to interrupt, are these going to be smooth flow beers? Are these going to be
these are nitrogenated, not carbonated.
Right.
And the reason for that is because ale has a different mouthfeel to that of lager.
It's nice with the nitrates in it.
So that's where we're going with those. And the aim of the exercise is that there is no reason why a pub in Wales should not have a high quality Welsh brand, either in cask, in keg, or in bottle. And that's what our aim needs to be. We need to convince the pubcos of the United Kingdom that there is a value to Welshness, that the pubs in Wales need to be given that opportunity to stock good and local. And if they don't do that, then they will close like they have been.
I've noticed Mondays and Tuesdays, isn't it? Pubs are closed.
This pub's closed on a Monday.
Closed on a Monday. It used to be 7 days a week years ago.
Well, but there's a reason for that. Staff have got to have time off. We don't want to employ too many chefs because to cover people having time off. So the answer at the end of the day is very much times have changed. And God help us, if this smoking ban comes in, that is going to be a major disaster. And it's as though Labour in Wales doesn't give a damn. Doesn't give a damn. And what I will say to you is this: we've not only got that, but we've then got the deposit return scheme coming, which means that for every one of these that we sell, we have to pay the government 25p.
Really? So
and when we pay that 25p, the net effect of it is that if you go, and I know you get bottles of beer from all over the country, you could technically come to us with all those bloody bottles of beer, and you could say, I've got 50 bottles here, Simon, I want my 50 times 25p back. And technically under the law, I would be obliged to give you that money.
Right, okay.
So what does that mean to me? It means to me that my cash flow, they all go in a skip.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the point is, at the end of the day, I will end up having to fund it. That
Right.
can't be right. That can't be fair.
No.
And when you challenge Welsh Government about it, their answer is very straightforward. Well, it works for Heineken.
Right.
Well, there's a surprise. It works for Heineken.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that is, it's going to have to get passed on to the consumer, I suppose. You can't keep swallowing.
Well, no,
These
but
costs all the time.
you will pay the 25p effectively in the price when you buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll take that bottle back,
Right.
and then you'll get your 25p back.
Oh, right. I see. On
Rather
the,
like the old Corona bottle,
Right. So when's that coming in then?
mid 25.
Really, blimey. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Simon. These, I'm sure, are going to do really well because I didn't know I was a cider drinker until now.
Well, now you know what it must have been like sending St Paul into the wilderness to convert you.
I might take a couple home for my wife, who's a big cider drinker. I'm pretty sure she'll love the medium dry and the sparkling. Fantastic, and of course the summer fruits. Thank you very much, Simon. A real pleasure.
As always, Simon, good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least I'm now fit enough to be able to see
Yeah,
you.
it's great to see you again. Cheers.
Great.